Hey, Dr. Blake.
Hi, Jennifer.
Where's Dr. Trammell?
Oh, he's on vacation.
Hey, Frank. I called your office. They said you'd be here. Got your coffee. Do you know Dr. Blake?
Yeah. Please tell me he died of natural causes.
Well, he died of a cardiac arrhythmia.
That's good.
Not for him.
No, I didn't mean it like that. It's just, this is a weird one. It's starting to get complicated.
Well, it might still. He had an extremely high level of nicotine in his system.
You said he died of a heart attack.
He did. Brought on by a toxic level of nicotine.
You mean like he chain smoked himself to death?
No, like he drank it.
Liquid nicotine? Where do you get that?
Well, it's used in insecticides, for one thing. It's fairly common.
He drank it. Suicide?
Maybe. Unless someone gave it to him. And that would be murder.
Or was the whiskey adulterated?
Nope. The residue in the glass had no nicotine.
This rings a bell.
What do you mean it rings a bell?
It sounds familiar. Like a book I read.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, no.
All right, we gotta go.
No, Frank, honestly, I read a book a long time.
Yeah.
The Burkhardt deal closed. We break ground next month.
Oh, that's nice.
Doing some research?
I'm researching murder mystery. Frank's case, the one I told you about, it sounds a lot like a book I remember, but I can't find it.
I doubt a killer in the book would have much to do with Frank's case.
Ah, but the killer in Frank's case might have something to do with the book.
Does that even make sense? How?
I don't know, but it bugs me.
Huh. Any thoughts about dinner?
Well, whatever you want. You pick the place.
We're going out?
What a good idea.
I've lived across the hall for 10 years now. He had no friends.
So the other day, nobody came by the apartment?
I don't think so. But I keep my door closed and my nose out of other people's business.
So even if somebody had come by, you wouldn't even have known it?
Well, who's gonna visit Art?
Was he depressed lately?
If he wasn't, he should have been. Forget about friends. I don't even think he had acquaintances.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. I know what this means.
No, I'm stumped. Something about Linwood's case reminds me of a mystery book I once read.
Or a movie you once saw, or a newspaper story. Did you do an internet search?
Yes. 1,000 web pages about nicotine and how it's a toxic poison, but nothing about a priest being murdered by nicotine.
Well, you could just forget it and let Detective Linwood do his job.
I could. Hey, what are you doing tonight at 7?
I don't know. Something with you?
Ding, ding, ding.
And so, as you see, the ante has been upped. Readers will not accept what they once did. Edgar Allan Poe created the template, the first modern detective story. Anybody know what the book was? Anybody? Yes.
She knows.
Danny?
Well?
Murder in the Rue Morgue.
That's right. An impossible crime. A double murder in a room with the doors locked from the inside.
How did the killer get in the room if the doors were locked from the inside?
You care to answer?
Orangutan. It climbed up the side of the building and went in the window.
Ridiculous, huh? But that's how far we've come.
And what about the mysteries that don't have murders?
Oh, who doesn't love a good murder? When your story begins with a dead body, it demands a solution. Only when the killer is brought to justice is the world in balance again. We're about out of time. If anyone is interested in copies of my new book, Murder Along the Mississippi, step right up. Thank you.
I'm going to get my copy signed.
Well, you know your mysteries.
Oh, thank you. Great talk. I'm looking forward to reading your book. Do you by any chance know of any stories that have a priest dying from nicotine poison?
Sounds vaguely familiar. I'm not sure about the priest part, but as for the nicotine poisoning, I'd check out Vincent Starrett, Theodore Dubois, even Agatha Christie. She loved poisons. Worked in the pharmacy during the First World War. If you can't find it, come see me. I have references in my office.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No ring. It's probably in his pocket. Oh, cynical party of one.
What? I'm just not interested.
A complete wilderness experience. Everything we have is carried on our backs.
I didn't know your dad was an outdoorsman.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. And I need to learn these skills. You know, it's important for you to test yourself in extreme conditions.
I read about some guys who did this wilderness thing, and they got all bit up by bugs. They were cold, hungry, and miserable.
It's gonna be fun. Sleeping under the stars, making our own campfires, making our own breakfast.
You're afraid of spiders.
Are you really going to take our son into the wilderness?
Yep.
Isn't it dangerous? What about bears?
I know how to deal with a bear. Run faster than the person your wife. I checked with the ranger station, no bears, and I got a great spot near Mount Washington. We're gonna be fine.
I'll be worried.
This is coming from an amateur detective who once jumped out of a burning barn.
I'll still be worried.
Yeah. Oh, how'd the book thing go tonight?
Pretty good. I got it signed.
Nice.
And he gave me some leads on how to find the mystery novel that's like Frank's homicide.
It hasn't been classified murder.
I never said it was. At least not yet.
Tarot cards are fun, but I don't think they're very accurate.
Oh.
I like to align our souls and chakra systems, and then I wait for the download.
Well, that sounds like a lot for $20. Maybe you should just read my palms.
Well, today is just to see how I work. You know, if you wanted to go further, I'd be happy to help.
All right.
Let's start with the obvious. You've been unlucky with love.
That's obvious.
Well, most people who come to see me have been unlucky with love.
So it's a guess.
An educated one. I could have also said you've struggled financially, but who hasn't? What I do is different. I like to align our energies. Just for a second and see where it leads. You want to give it a try?
Okay.
Okay, extend your hands, palms up, close your eyes. Good, I'm getting a very strong connection. Just try to relax. Don't think of anything.
Not a problem.
You must really be a fan. Those are pretty obscure. I'm looking for a specific murder from a book. The victim was a priest and he was killed by poison.
What kind of poison?
Nicotine. This is a compendium of mystery murders by types and methods. A priest murdered by nicotine? That's right. Poisons. Okay, nicotine. There's a few. Nothing with the priest. How about a clergyman? That work? Yes, of course. Murder in 3 acts. Agatha Christie. Reverend Babington is murdered by nicotine poisoning. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, of course. Agatha Christie.
I think she could be the real deal. I mean, she talked about how, like you said, a lot of psychics make educated guesses, and she was very upfront about that. She only wanted $20.
Well, that's good. When are you seeing her again? Day after tomorrow? How much is that going to cost?
$100. But she knew things that she couldn't possibly know. I mean, things you don't just guess. She didn't even know my name when I walked in.
Well, I don't know how they do it, but I don't think they have any special psychic abilities. I mean, if they did, why wouldn't they go to Vegas and play blackjack?
Well, they would say that the gift is to be used to help people and not for gambling.
Oh, okay. Why don't you ask her if Terrence Duncan is in your future?
Ugh, not interested.
What? Why not? He's charming, he's handsome. What's the problem?
He writes murder mysteries.
So?
How would I sleep at night?
Oh, you scaredy cat.
Try not to stay up all night, hon.
I won't be long.
And nothing official yet. But we do know the cause of death. It was nicotine poisoning. But it could have been a suicide. It could have been accidental. But this guy, he had no one in his life.
Yet someone called 911 from a payphone.
I know, it's hard to believe those things are still around. Hanley didn't belong to any clubs, no activities. Well, he did go to the park and feed the pigeons, but that's about it. But there's no way anyone had a motive to kill him.
The killer didn't know him. Art Henley, killed by nicotine poisoning administered via an alcoholic drink. The killer substitutes the glass with poison for one without.
That's an assumption. We don't know how he ingested the poison.
Victim has no known enemies and was wearing a priest's collar.
That's pretty much what I knew an hour ago. What's your point?
Remember when I said this reminded me of a book? I found it. The Death of Art Henley is straight out of an Agatha Christie novel called Murder in 3 Acts.
So you're saying the guy who killed Henley, if it was a murder, wanted it to look like a murder from a mystery book?
Yes, too many similarities. The killer in the book had no relationship to the victim. There was no motive, it was random.
Then why kill him?
Practice. Henley was a dress rehearsal. This guy's gonna kill again.
I don't know, Jen. Even if Henley's death was copied from a book, that doesn't mean he's gonna kill again.
Well, he does in the book.
Okay. All right, well, in the book, who's the next victim?
His name is Dr. Strange.
Seriously, that's his name?
Yep.
Okay, well, how is Dr. Strange killed?
Same as Reverend Babington. He drinks a glass of alcohol that's tainted with nicotine oil.
I'll be talking to you soon, Jen.
Hey, Frank, where did Art Henley feed the pigeons?
Freeman Park.
Oh, wait! You almost forgot this.
The connection is very strong. I'm sensing a lot of negativity around you.
What do you see?
Clouds gathering. Dark.
Well, I have been worrying a lot.
No, this is different.
Oh. Well, that was something.
What? What was something?
I don't know, but it was intense. Just be careful. I can't attempt to clear this energy for you. Through a series of intensive sessions that goes far beyond this type of work.
Well, I'd like to think about that. How much would it cost?
Once all the negativity is cleared, the abundance that follows is amazing. I can tell you're a very spiritual person.
Well, I think so.
I know so. Normally I would charge $500 for this type of work, but because of your innate abilities, it would be half of that.
That's very generous. Thank you. I'd still like to think about it.
Of course. Oh, does the name Bernice have any special meaning to you?
Bernice? No, not really. I had an aunt, Bernice, but she died when I was a kid. Never really knew her.
It's probably nothing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I help? Oh, thank you. I saw you coming out. Have you been seeing Maggie?
Yes, I have.
Oh, she is a blessing. I don't know how I'd manage without her.
Oh.
Did Art have any friends down here? People he talked with?
Art? No. For years, he just sat alone. Actually, a couple weeks ago, he seemed to be hanging out with a guy I hadn't seen before.
Did they come together?
No, they just got to talking.
Did you get a chance to talk to this guy, catch his name?
Art mentioned it once. I think it was something like Jerry or Larry. I don't know. I never talked to him.
Did Art have a usual spot that he liked to feed the birds?
Yeah, that was his favorite bench right there. Art was a nice guy. I'm sorry to hear he died.
Me too. Thank you. this is a Hamilton Perry, probably 1930s. And this is a very nice Bulova.
Oh, they've been in Grandpa's attic for over 40 years.
How much are you hoping to get for them?
I was thinking at least $50 each.
Well, if these are genuine, and I think they are, they could be worth $1,000 a piece. The Bulova even more.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Get them appraised. I think you'll be surprised.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, we're never gonna get rich.
No, but we'll sleep well at night. Yeah. Hey, did you see your psychic friend again?
Yeah. So I'm getting a weird feeling from her. How did she know all that stuff about me?
Has she upped her $100 fee?
$500. But half price. She said I have a lot of negative energy around me.
Oh. Time for tea. I've never been New Age.
I know. But you do have some clairvoyance. I mean, when you're solving a mystery, you're pretty good.
I think I might have a talent for deductive reasoning. Let me ask you something. Are you happy with your life?
My life? Well, of course, it's fabulous.
Well, then if you see Magdalena, do it because it's fun. Just fun.
You're right. I feel cleared now.
That'll be $500.
Well, there's no contact person listed on his rental agreement. But, you know, that happens sometimes, these old people.
Has the unit been entered since the police left?
No. Listen, you're a detective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Art died of a heart attack. I mean, what's the deal here?
No deal. I just want to take a look around.
Turns out Henley wasn't a complete loner. A couple of weeks ago, he struck up a friendship with someone. The guy that sells birdseed at the park thinks the new guy's name was, Larry or Jerry.
The guy who sells birdseed.
Yes. Don't be making fun of my sources. Oh, and there's a security camera at the park. Art and his friend might be on it.
I mean, now that's interesting. All right, I went back to Henley's apartment, taking a look around. Found that on the fridge.
Life coach? Henley was seeing a life coach? Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Gerald McNally. Well, that could be Jerry or Larry.
Frankly, and don't quote me on this, but when someone like Henley dies with no friends, no family, no one cares. Especially when there's a case to be made that it could be a suicide.
I understand, but it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can find something on that park footage.
I've been looking for a life coach. I'd be like a new client. He'd have no idea why I was there. But if you go and he's somehow connected, it could spook him. And this way, if there's anything hinky about this guy.
Hinky?
Yeah, hinky. Well, that's the expression, right?
Just go on.
Well, then I report back to you and you do what you do. I'll be like scouting patrol.
No mention of Arthur Henley, Agatha Christie, nicotine poisoning, or priest callers.
Right. Just life coaching.
You a Girl Scout?
No. The psychic knew things that would be impossible for her to know.
Like what?
Like Danny was married to someone named Darren. How would she know that?
Maybe a partner ran Danny's plate through a database. They use tricks like that.
I read where a lonely guy got taken for millions by a fortune teller.
Is Danny getting too involved with this?
Oh, I don't think so. She's just going for fun. So, Logan, how is the camping trip coming along?
Great, just honing my wilderness skills.
You guys are gonna be miserable.
No, you guys are gonna wish you were there while we're sitting by a campfire, drinking hot chocolate, you know, under the stars.
You won't last the weekend.
Yeah, we will. Right, Dad? Absolutely.
Hot chocolate sounds good. How about I make some and we all play hearts?
I'm meeting some friends at school.
Yeah, and I've got to do, something.
Oh, sorry, Mom. Excuse us.
Chess?
Why not?
Thank you very much for seeing me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Do you only work with writers, or do you see regular people?
About half my clients are regular people. But given my background, I'm uniquely suited to help creative types.
Oh, what's your background?
I was a writer, and then an editor at a publishing house. Unfortunately, the internet has not been kind to publishers or bookstores.
It's a shame.
I actually find this work much more satisfying. Are you a writer?
Oh, no. I love to read. I'm a big mystery fan.
That was my area when I was an editor.
Well, you'll have to recommend some books.
I will.
I'm not at all sure what a life coach does.
Well, first off, it's not psychotherapy, okay? I don't focus on the past. I want to help you look forward and achieve your goals. It's practical.
Okay.
So, let's start with a simple question. Given where you are in life right now, what would you like to change? Anything at all. Off the top of your head, first thing.
Frank, I'm leaving McNally's. Did you know that he used to handle mystery writers for a publishing house?
You know that doesn't connect him to the bird guy.
No, I know that doesn't connect him to Henley, but see if this might. I'm in the parking lot at McNally's office, and I'm looking at an endangered species.
What's that?
A payphone.
I think Gerald McNally could be connected to Art Henley's death.
How? Why would they even know each other?
I don't know, but McNally's card was on Henley's refrigerator, and there was a payphone outside of McNally's office. That can't be a coincidence.
Security cam footage from the day before and of Henley's death. All right. Okay. So this is the day before. There's Art Henley feeding the birds. Okay. Now we get another man joining him. He's wearing a brim cap, which is blocking his face as he approaches. And now we can only see their backs. Now they sat and talked here for a few minutes. You know, everything seemed friendly. Now, another man walks away. And then Art Henley walks in the opposite direction. Now, this is the day of his death. So there's Arthur Henley. He's feeding the birds. But this time, nobody joins him. All right, see? See, he's looking around as if he's expecting someone. Could he be waiting for that guy again? And he just finishes feeding the birds. Then he walks away. Okay, so who's this other guy? And that 911 call? That was made from the phone right outside McNally's office. But that security cam, well, makes Henley just like he has a friend. But that payphone, looks bad for McNally. Congratulations, Jen. Gerald McNally is now a person of interest. Your life coach.
You were just with him.
I'm calling this a possible homicide. You know, if you hadn't have thought of that old book with that murder in it, nobody would have paid attention to this.
Maybe.
Definitely. They would have ruled it a suicide, case closed. You're really good at this, Jen.
Thank you.
You can't officially be involved.
Okay.
But unofficially, we need your help. As a consultant.
Did she get a badge?
No.
It's just nice to be acknowledged. So if Gerald McNally is the killer, you get the credit. Oh, I don't care about that, just as long as they catch the killer. Yeah. Danny, this is an original Tonka.
What? That's size?
Yeah. I'm gonna buy it. Okay, good eye.
Hi.
I'm Danny. We met outside of Maggie's.
Oh, yes. I had the most amazing session that day. She was able to cross over and talk with my husband.
Your husband is deceased?
Several years now. Oh, Maggie's been a godsend. I mean, there's so many things that are hard for me to manage without him. Investments, for instance.
So, is there anything special you look for at these things?
Oh, yes. I collect Lefton cuddles. They're really hard to find.
Would you be interested in a White Cat creamer and sugar bowl set?
Really? You have one?
And I have a little shop, and I'd love to see your collection. I'd be happy to bring them out to you.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Oh, let me give you my address.
Okay.
Always happy to help the police. What's this about?
You know who this is?
No, I've never seen him.
You ever been to Freeman Park?
Yes, I've been there. How long ago? Oh, at least a couple of years.
The man in that photo is Art Henley. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, I'd say that it does.
His body was found a week ago. Swallowed nicotine oil. And the weird thing is, he'd been drinking a glass of whiskey and there was no nicotine residue in the glass. What's even stranger is he was wearing a clerical collar and he's not
even a priest. Is this some kind of a joke?
Look, you've just described a famous murder taken straight out of Agatha Christie.
You're obviously familiar with the book. Of course I am. Well, in the book,
Why is there no nicotine residue in the glass?
The killer substitutes a clean glass for the tainted one.
What happens next?
Dr. Strange is murdered by the same method. Concentrated oil of nicotine.
Except in this case, it's administered in a tainted glass of
Port at a dinner party. Classic Christie.
Your business card was found on Henley's fridge.
He wasn't a client.
After he drank the poison, an anonymous call came into 911. It was made from a payphone right outside your office.
Look, if I was going to kill someone, I'd make it more modern. Don't insult me with priest collars and oil of nicotine. Are you actually arresting me?
Just asking a few questions.
Ah, well, then it has been a pleasure, Detective.
Oh, my.
Okay. Just bend this up and we have a tent. Nice. I'm being tested.
You sound worried that scam.
Well, Madame Magdalena claims to be the go-between to the other side, and this poor widow thinks she's getting investment advice from her deceased husband.
Call Frank. They got a bunco squad of deals with scamsters and frauds. Exactly this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll call him tomorrow.
Good.
I see the tent outside.
Uh-huh.
How's the big camping trip coming along?
We're almost set. Yeah, getting back to nature. It's gonna be great. You should join us on the next trip.
Maybe. Not.
Oh.
I am afraid that she is robbing her blind under the guise of communicating with the other side.
Well, as long as Claire's competent, she's entitled to make her own decisions. You know, a family member, now they can complain to Senior Protective Services, but Danny doesn't qualify.
What if she defrauded me?
Well, then you make a complaint and our fraud unit will investigate.
Gerald? Gerald?
Body was found by the 2 o'clock client. He saw him and backed out.
Has it been secured since?
Yes, sir. No obvious wounds. There's blood around the room, but none on the body. Blood on the coffee table, some on the carpet, and look at this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The Cameron. Sigerson.
That's awful. I can't believe it. I just saw him. Was this the second murder for Murder in 3 Acts?
And it's different. And really odd. The word Raish was written on the wall in fake blood. Could it be Rachel?
No, it doesn't mean Rachel. Raish is German for revenge. Was there a woman's gold wedding ring on the floor and a pill box with some pills inside?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else was at your crime scene. Where is it? Here it is. Was he holding a book in his hand, the Decameron?
Yeah, all that.
The killer took this straight out of Sherlock Holmes' A Study in Scarlet.
Well, we may have a break. McNally had an 11 a.m. schedule with a guy named Sigerson. You know, we're looking for him now, and if he's not the killer, at least he's the last guy to see McNally alive.
There's a writing professor over at the JC. He's pretty knowledgeable on mysteries, Terrence Duncan. I'll try to see him tomorrow.
Do it. Tell him it's confidential.
Will do.
All right, I gotta go.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, hon.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, Jason. All right. Well, Jen, she knows her mystery stories. I asked her to consult. You know, use that mystery-solving mind of hers. You know, possibly talk with some people not directly connected. But if you want me to keep her out of it, I'll do it.
I don't control her.
That's her charm.
Good night, Frank.
Good night, Jason.
New book?
No, same one. Mystery writer from the bookstore. It could be a good reference for Frank.
Can we talk?
I'm just consulting.
Hey, maybe I don't say this enough, but I really love you.
Oh, Jason.
You know, sometimes I'll be at work or driving my car, doing nothing, and you just pop into my head. You're my everything, Jen. My girl. And if anything ever happened to you, it would devastate me.
Honey, I promise I'll be careful. And if you don't want me to do this, I won't.
You got a talent. I married someone who can make sense of murder.
I could take up gardening.
Just be who you are. But careful.
I will.
These are just lovely. Thank you so much.
You have a beautiful collection. Any favorites?
Oh, yes. Over here. Oh, please, do sit.
Thank you.
It's a Blue Boy. Limited edition.
Very nice.
I met Clara at Magdalena's.
Oh, since my husband passed, it's been a bit overwhelming. It's wonderful Maggie can communicate with him. So reassuring.
What has he communicated? Thank you.
Well, Edgar, he's very concerned that savings barely pay anything these days. Maggie knows some managers who can get me 15%. It's called a hedge fund.
And you've been collecting interest from these payments?
Oh, yes. I only invested a little bit because I wanted to be sure it was legitimate. I've received 3 payments right on time.
That sounds great.
Maggie says it's very safe.
This isn't good.
It sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
What can we do?
I don't know. But nothing is not an option.
Doesn't say anything about murder, just that he was found dead.
Well, that's good. It means Linwood was able to keep a lid on it.
For the time being.
Is this any good?
Not bad. Period mystery set on a riverboat. Hey, you want to come over for dinner Saturday night?
I'd love to. Who else is coming?
Nobody.
Yet.
Yet.
Uh-huh. Where are you going?
Oh, meeting with the author at his college.
Well, have fun.
Yeah.
Just be here working.
Hello.
Oh,
You finish it?
I am halfway through. It's really good. It must be so difficult to get published these days.
Near impossible. That was self-published. Worked out well. I keep most of the money.
Did you see today's newspaper about the murder?
I read about a man who was found dead in his office.
It was a murder. I know the lead detective. It seems that someone is recreating murders from mystery books.
Plural? As in more than one. When you came to my lecture and asked about nicotine poisoning, you were talking about a real murder?
I was.
Did you find the book?
Murder in 3 Acts.
Agatha Christie, of course. And this new murder?
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, A Study in Scarlet. And the murder was carefully recreated from the book. I'm a Holmes fan, but not an expert.
Oh, me either, but there are people around here who are absolute Holmes nuts. They have monthly meetings, they wear 19th century wardrobe, all that stuff.
Like those Civil War reenactors?
Exactly. You should be able to find them online.
Would you mind if I used you as a resource?
Sure, whatever I can do. But one of these Holmes experts might be a better choice. I'm sorry, but I have an afternoon class.
Terrence, are you doing anything Saturday night?
No big plans? Grading papers?
Jason and I were going to have some people over for dinner, if you'd like to join us.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Oh, and you can bring a date if you like.
Oh, I'm not seeing anyone at the moment.
Oh, and one more thing. Does the name Sigerson mean anything to you?
Why?
The last client that McNally saw before his body was discovered was named Sigerson.
Well then, you're looking for Sherlock Holmes. Sigerson was the name he would sometimes use when he was in disguise.
Sherlock Holmes fanatics. People that eat, sleep, and breathe Holmes. And I think I found one.
Who's that?
Dr. Miles Fowler, professor of English at Littlefield College. Noted expert on Conan Doyle.
Littlefield? It's pretty prestigious.
Yeah, not that far a drive. So are you crossing over today?
Yes, I'm going to see if Magdalena can put me in touch with my deceased Uncle Eric.
You had an Uncle Eric?
No. No one in my family, past or present, ever named Eric. This will be in my purse, just in case I get any messages from the beyond.
Well, look at you, you little sleuth. Oh, and we're on for dinner Saturday night.
What aren't you telling me?
Just be there at 7 and wear your pretty green dress.
Green one. I'm wearing sweats. You.
He says he's concerned about your security. He feels you're on shaky ground. Money troubles?
Really? I'm doing okay.
But this is the future. He's concerned for your investments.
Like what? What does he think I should do?
Hold on. He's fading. Ah. He's gone. Sorry, that happens sometimes.
Should I be worried?
That depends. Was he someone that you would trust with your finances?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, then I would review your investments and make sure they're safe.
I'll do that. How much do I owe you for today?
Oh, no charge. Your uncle had wanted to contact you for a long time. I'm happy to have made that happen.
I don't know what to say.
Well, if you wanted to explore further, I'm here.
Linwood.
Hey, Frank, I just met with Terrence Duncan, the mystery writer. He said Sigerson is the name that Sherlock Holmes uses when he's in disguise.
Interesting.
I found a Holmes expert at Littlefield College, Professor Miles Fowler. I'd like to talk to him if that's okay.
That's a good idea. Let me call him first.
Okay, go ahead and call him, and I'm on my way there to see him now.
Good work, Jen.
Jennifer, welcome to 221B. Come on in.
Thank you. Wow. It's Sherlock Holmes' study on Baker Street.
Yes, I find it relaxing and inspiring. Please have a seat.
Thank you. And thank you for seeing me on such short notice.
Well, Detective Linwood called and asked for my discretion. A serial killer of a literary bent. First Agatha Christie and now Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes, a study in Scarlet.
Let's consider these murders in the way that Holmes might have. Is that all right?
Please.
So, we have a killer who's gone to great lengths to dramatize these murders. What does that tell us about him?
That he's egotistical, a thrill seeker.
Thrill seeker indeed. The first murder, Agatha Christie. A murder without a motive, which throws her Detective Poirot off balance. Well, very difficult to solve when there is no connection between the victim and the killer.
It was a rehearsal.
Of course. A preparation for the real murder of Gerald McNally. But here is where your killer diverged. He abandons Agatha Christie and takes up Conan Doyle.
Taunting the police, can you figure out these clues?
Which, of course, they can't. But now we are getting somewhere. We know that the killer is egotistical and literate. Your Detective Linwood should be flattered. To choose Conan Doyle as the gauntlet to throw down. I mean, is there a better detective than Sherlock Holmes?
So you think the choice of Sherlock Holmes is to say, I am the best, it would take Holmes to catch me?
Possibly.
Professor Fowler, do you think that he will kill again?
This is what I have learned about serial killers. He will continue to kill because he is addicted to the feeling he gets when he does. The killer knows right from wrong, but couldn't care less. Have you ever imagined what it must be like to hold someone's life in your hand?
No.
I have. To write about killers, to understand them, I have to know how they think and how they feel.
I can imagine.
Oh, I doubt you can. So, we know that the first murder was a trial run for the second. Focus on McNally. Forget about Art Henley.
It's a human life, Professor Fowler.
Well, forgive me for sounding harsh, but Sherlock Holmes was cold and calculating. He had no wife, no child. He never comforted the bereaved, but he always found his killer. And if you want to find this killer, focus on McNally. As Holmes might say, the game is afoot.
Fowler thinks the clues have no special meaning other than to distract the police from what they should be doing.
Which is?
Focusing on McNally.
I think he's right. I talked to 3 of McNally's clients, 2 of his neighbors, his ex-wife, and a couple of his friends.
Would any of them be suspects?
No. He was a bright, well-liked guy, respected as a life coach. His clients loved him.
McNally told me that he worked at a publishing house in mysteries. It went out of business.
Brown and Heaton. Talked to his former boss earlier. Says he was an excellent editor, but he could be tough on his writers.
This probably doesn't mean anything, but Fowler said to write a murder mystery, you had to think like a killer. He seemed to have an unhealthy enthusiasm for killers. Oh, incoming from Dr. Fowler. All life is a great chain, the nature of which is known whenever we are shown a single link of it. Sherlock Holmes.
You could have told me. You wouldn't have gone.
What's wrong with that? It must be a great feeling to see a building go up that you helped design and know that in 100 years it'll still be there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but then so's being a writer.
I finished your book. I like the surprise twist at the end. I didn't see it coming.
If you're consciously looking for the killer, you'll be disappointed, and you'll miss the journey along the way.
So who's your favorite author?
Hands down, John Dixon Carr, master of the locked room mystery.
Huh?
What's a locked room mystery?
Picture a room, no windows. The only way in or out is the door, which is locked from the inside. And the murder victim is within.
That sounds impossible. How's the killer get out?
Well, that's the challenge. Powerful magnet can close a latch to the door. A fishing line with a special knot that slips off the latch when you pull it through the other side. There's all kinds of ways.
Tricky.
Oh, I love that stuff. What's the new book about?
Murder. It's bad luck to say anything else. It's going well. Just need to come up with an ending. This dinner is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
It's just great to eat real food. I've been trying to be super healthy and drinking a lot of smoothies and green drinks.
What's your go-to green drink?
Simple and organic. Celery, broccoli, apples, and kale.
Oh.
What's yours?
Same. But I had spirulina.
I love pond scum.
Right.
What's pond scum?
Spirulina. It's a blue-green algae. It doesn't taste bad.
Major antioxidant.
Uh-huh.
We're having ice cream and apple pie for dessert.
Guess we are.
That's why I eat healthy. So when I have a chance to eat ice cream and pie, I don't think twice.
Oh, you can have 2 slices.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I hate to admit it, but I had a really good time, and he is really handsome and really smart.
But?
A guy in my watercolor class asked me out.
And I don't know this because...
Because it's really new and nothing might happen.
Oh, pond scum.
Double dose, drink up.
Well, Frank, green drink? What?
Yeah, I've already had my leaves and clippings. Thank you.
But it's... Oh.
Oh, that looks horrible.
It is horrible.
I was thinking about Professor Fowler. You know, that text, the Sherlock Holmes quote. What do you think it means?
I think it means that Sherlock Holmes could solve an entire crime by seeing a single clue.
I'm thinking he's telling us that we already have everything we need to solve it. But he's also saying don't pay any attention to Art Henley, right?
So we should do the opposite and focus on Henley?
I took a closer look at the security cam footage. All right. You know, now check this out. Enhance and enlarge it.
That looks familiar.
Yep. But does it look like this?
I think you've got a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Fowler.
We've got what we'll need.
Did you test your flashlight?
Do we look like green hornets?
Green horns. Is that even a thing?
Okay, we're back on Sunday evening. I left a map on the dining room table of our location, okay?
Ask your father what he's going to do if he sees a bear.
Bears? They have bears up there?
Wilderness? What part of wilderness and bears don't go together?
Love you, hon. There's no bears. Probably.
Logan, have fun. Be safe.
Spa day tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Well, where else could I get that sort of return?
It's not the return.
It's the risk.
But I have been getting paid. Right on time. I'm going to the Valley Pines Bank next week to see about a reverse mortgage.
I asked Maggie to communicate with my deceased Uncle Eric. There was never any such person. I invented him to see if Magdalena was real.
Well, possibly another member of your family was trying to contact you. I really feel when I'm with Maggie that I'm in the presence of my Edgar.
What can we do?
I'll go by Adult Protective Services tomorrow, see what they say.
I can't believe people take advantage of senior citizens like that.
Just ask my Uncle Eric.
You okay there, son?
Yeah, are we even there yet?
Not even close.
You know, I think we forgot something.
Where was that?
Sherpas.
Hey, get in here.
It's just the tent.
You got the compass, right?
Well, you gotta hand it to the guys. They really did it.
Sitting out in the cold and dark like Neanderthals.
Oh, I love this part. You know they're gonna kiss. I've seen it a million times.
Oh.
Well, what do you want to watch next?
Can you watch that again?
Yeah.
The wood was green or wet, I guess.
No fire. No dinner.
We had that granola bar.
No internet.
It's the great outdoors.
So is that it? We just sit here, freezing.
We enjoy the solitude, son.
What's that?
That would be rain.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, me neither. But, yeah, if you want to leave.
No, I can take it. Okay. But if you want to go, I go. You know, I saw a motel in that town that we drove through.
I saw the diner.
You know what? We'll just come back Sunday. You know what they don't know won't hurt them, right?
This is about bonding. We're still bonding.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Miles Fowler had a book published at Brown and Heaton the same time that Gerald McNally happened to be an editor there. Huh.
Hey. So, I went to Adult Protective Services, and Frank was right. As long as Claire's confident, she can do whatever she likes. She'd need a family member to file a complaint.
She doesn't have children?
No, so that's out.
What are you thinking?
What would Madame Magdalena do if she thought you were about to be arrested?
That just might work. Eight years ago, Fowler had a book published at Brown and Heaton, the same place that McNally was an editor.
I know, but Fowler's book, A Life of Holmes, was nonfiction, which means he may not have had any contact with McNally, who was fiction. On the other hand, Fowler had no classes on the days of either murder.
Or does he have an alibi?
Not sure. We need to get a little more information before I interview him. Now, you were saying Fowler's office is like a shrine to Holmes?
It's like walking into Baker Street.
All right, well, here's what we know. Fowler was free the days of both murders. The man in the security cam was wearing a Littlefield College sweatshirt. Happens to be where Fowler teaches. And McNally's killer had encyclopedic knowledge of Sherlock Holmes.
Certainly fits Fowler to a T. There's one more thing. 10 years ago, this article in a mystery magazine, The Pharmacology of Murder by Professor Miles Fowler. It's about all the ways poisons have been used to kill people in mystery books.
It's pretty good, Jen.
I wonder how they're doing.
Not too well. I saw on the news it was raining up there. Pouring.
Oh, now I feel bad for them.
I could show you where they were going.
How?
I have a program that shows a satellite view of almost anywhere. And if there's a signal, I can pinpoint Dad's cell phone.
Really?
Hmm? Okay, here's the ranger station, parking lot. They should be a couple miles to the north, I think.
Amazing. That's not real time, is it?
No. But the app for the cell phone is.
Try it.
That's weird. It shows a signal, but there's nothing on the map. Let me zoom out. I can't believe it.
What?
They're in a town.
Cheaters.
Okay, it's your move. You better watch your bishop.
Why? You should have watched your rook.
2 hot chocolates?
We didn't order hot chocolate, did we?
No, your mom did. She expects you home for dinner.
Busted.
Cheers.
This won't be long. Just a few questions.
Oh, shoot. Or should I say inject?
Tuesday the 12th, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Where were you?
Are you serious? Ah, fine. Yes, faculty committee meeting.
Your department head says you missed that meeting.
Oh, well, then I was writing.
All right. Well, what about the week before, Monday the 4th?
Writing.
Didn't have to check your book?
Monday is always writing. Alone. Which means no alibi. Look, I'm a Holmes expert. I've written about poisons and how it's used in the art of murder. I think about killing people. A lot.
Your book, Life of Holmes, was published by Brown and Heaton. Gerald McNally was an editor there at the time.
The life coach?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, now I remember. Jerry McNally. Well, he was fiction, I was non-fiction, so I didn't make the connection. You don't believe that?
Habit.
Yes, well, now you have a problem, because he was the last person who should have been a life coach. He was not a nice man.
How so?
Well, he was arrogant, dismissive. If he thought you didn't cut it as a writer, he just told you so.
Did he ever tell you so?
Yes, but it made me better.
How tall are you?
Oh, finally, an interesting question. I am 6'1". Does that help?
Yeah, it might. We have some security cam footage of Arthur Hanley. He was walking with a man who might have killed him. You're about the same height.
Oh, wow. That narrows your suspect pool down to, what, a few million people? Excellent work, detective. Excellent work.
Girls, we're home. Jen? Anna, hello. Back at 7 for dinner. Everything's in the fridge. Salad needs to be made. And set the table. Love, Mom, and Hannah. P.S. Logan, use your phone app to track our location.
Now this is what I call getting back to nature.
We will be going outside.
Is that where the massage tables are?
Yep. In a tent. Kind of like camping. I'm just glad you're both back safe and sound.
Thank you. You know, I learned a valuable lesson this weekend that I'll remember when I'm at college.
Yeah, what's that?
No matter where you go or what you do, Mom knows.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Terrence.
I had a lovely evening. Thank you so much for the invite.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun.
So, I took another look at Study in Scarlet. The killer arrived by a horse-driven cab. If your suspect was truly recreating the crime, he would have taken a cab. You might be able to see the cab company's records to see if anyone was dropped off that address.
That is very smart. Oh, and I was able to make a connection between McNally and Fowler. It turns out that McNally was an editor at Brown and Heaton the same time that Fowler had a book published there.
Wow. You had to dig deep for that. Well, it sounds like Linwood has a viable suspect.
Yes, it sure does. You should meet Frank. Maybe we could all have lunch one day this week.
Sounds good. I'd like to ask you a favor. You're a mystery fan. Would you be willing to read my new book? Give me some objective feedback?
Sure, I would love to. Just tell me when.
It should be ready next week. One caveat. I can't send it to you, but I'll make a hard copy you can read in my office. Writer's paranoia.
Understood.
Is Danny here?
Oh, no, I'm afraid she just stepped out.
Oh, I just wanted to give her something. Want to give her this?
Hawaiian spirulina.
Pond scum.
I'm sure she'll love it.
Gerald McNally's death was by strychnine poisoning. Now, my first thought was it was in the pills, but it wasn't.
What were the pills?
Sugar. No trace of poison in his stomach, so he didn't ingest it. I re-examined the body. There was a single needle mark, very fine gauge needle. Strychnine was administered via injection.
McNally was injected. There must have been physical contact.
Low cards principle. The perpetrator will bring something into a crime scene and leave with something from it.
I want every inch of him gone through. Clothes, shoes, whatever. If the killer held or restrained him, he left something on the body. All right?
The body was found by a student. Emmy is on the way. Gunshot wound to the abdomen.
Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm at Littlefield. Professor Fowler's dead. Looks like we got another one. Hey, Jen, thanks for coming.
What did the killer leave behind?
Oh, you'll see. This guy's really bragging now. He even left a note. The butler did it. Funny, huh? Fowler wasn't wearing any cufflinks. So obviously the killer placed it there.
I think I know what book this is from, but this isn't right.
What do you mean?
The body is supposed to be found at the bottom of a circular staircase.
Like this?
Okay, I got this. Mary Roberts Reinhardt.
Who?
This murder is from the circular staircase. I read it last year. The victim is shot. The body is found near the base of a circular staircase. There's a cufflink, mother of pearl with ruby, found near the body. She was the first to use the phrase, the butler did it. I think I know where the gun is. If he's following the book, he would have tossed the gun in some bushes. It might even have the name Halsey engraved on the side.
I've never heard of this writer. Reinhardt?
Oh, she's huge. The American Agatha Christie. Frank, look.
Please tell me that footprint wasn't a clue from the book.
Nope.
Good. Finally. Looks like we might have caught a break.
It's horrible, but it's fascinating. There's a guy killing people right out of classic mysteries. The murders have to be connected.
Why hasn't a newspaper caught into this?
Frank's been able to keep the details pretty quiet, but I don't think it'll stay that way for long. So how long did it take you to realize that the camping trip was not going to be the best time?
Well, let's see. Put the backpack on. Took about 5 steps, and I knew.
I'm glad you went. Good bonding time. I'm going to go downstairs and check my notes.
Don't stay up too late.
I won't.
Professor Miles Fowler, pretty obvious cause of death.
Now, don't assume the 2 bullet wounds in the stomach killed him.
Could be a mislead.
Understood. I'll approach as if there were no gunshot wounds.
When the slugs, they've been retrieved and sent to forensics?
First thing.
You know, I think we have the gun, but I can't take anything for granted.
3rd murder by this guy?
Well, he may have finally slipped up. We found a fresh footprint.
What size shoe did Fowler wear?
Size 10.
Footprint is 12.5.
That's our guy.
We've been looking at your finances, Clara, and I'm sure we can help you with your investments.
a bit of a tight schedule. I assume the paperwork is ready?
Oh, it'll just be another moment. I appreciate your patience.
Hi.
Oh, glad you could make it, Laura. This is Laura from the Department of Social Services. The bank has reason to believe that this could be a situation of elder fraud. Could you describe your relationship to Clara?
I resent that insinuation. This has taken up far too much of my time.
Melody. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
I'm so sorry, Clara.
Her real name is Melody Monroe. She's been arrested in 2 other states for elder fraud and other scams.
I played Laura a recording of Maggie communicating with someone who never existed.
Clara, APS has advisors who can make sure that your investments are handled responsibly.
I really wanted to believe that I was talking with my Edgar.
I know.
But I suspected I wasn't. He was too sweet. Edgar would have been really grumpy if I'd bothered him on the other side.
The common thread is mysteries and literature. Is there any chance that Terrence Duncan can be involved? He writes mysteries. He teaches. Do you think that's possible?
I had the same thought. I don't think so. And Duncan wears a size 11 shoe, and the foot impression at the scene was 12 and a half.
That's a relief because I'm going to see him this afternoon. How in the world did you find out Duncan's shoe size?
He rented a tux a few years ago. I routinely check former wear places because they always keep measurements.
Clever.
I'd say.
You have to read it at his office?
Well, I guess if you send someone a file, it can be leaked too easily.
Yeah. So you're going to the JC?
No, Terrence has a writing office off campus. I'll read it there.
You should feel flattered.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Okay, have fun, honey.
Oh, hi, sweetheart. It's me. I'm headed over to Terrence Duncan's office, but I'll pick up dinner and I'll be home around 7. I love you. Bye. Hello?
Jen, it's Terrence. Are you at the office yet?
I'm almost there.
I'm grabbing a coffee. I left the office open. Manuscript's on the desk. Go ahead and get started. You want a latte or something?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. See you in 20 minutes or so. I really appreciate this, Jen.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a name on the list here. Terrence Duncan. The guy taught for a short time over at Littlefield, and there's a Brown and Heaton connection.
All right, you got my attention.
Duncan submitted a book there that they passed on. They caused a big stink about it. The rejecting editor on this book was Gerald McNally.
The Novel Murders. A true story of murder past and future.
Hey, where's Jen? I've been trying to call her.
She's reading Duncan's manuscript.
At the JC? Or?
No, off campus at his writing office.
Where?
I don't know.
Mary? Yeah, I need an emergency search of any address linked to a Terrence Duncan. Rent, phone, utilities, you name it. You call me as soon as you hear from her.
What?
I first saw Art Henley feeding birds in the park alone. Misdirection. The card left on the refrigerator points to Gerald McNally, but the security camera in the park is an all-seeing eye. With a Littlefield College sweatshirt and hiding my face, I send you after Professor Miles Fowler.
Hello, Jennifer. Good to see you again.
It's the hologram me. The real me is sipping beer at the Fox and Hound. An airtight alibi. Novel Murders is a mystery inspired by the classics, but killing real people. 3 beautiful recreations of literary murders. Murder number 1, Art Henley. He didn't deserve to die, but neither did the Reverend in A Murder in 3 Acts. Murder number 2, Gerald McNally. He rejected my book and killed my career. Study in Scarlet for him. Murder number 3, Professor Fowler. I once taught at Littlefield. He was head of the commission that denied my promotion. Have you figured out the size 12.5 shoe yet? Some crumpled newspaper and my size 11 feet fit the size 12.5 shoe just fine. Murder number 4 is about to happen. I know you've almost solved it. I built this room specifically for this murder, though I didn't know it would be you. The door is secured, the lock unbreachable, the window is safety glass, unbreakable. Cell phone signal is blocked. You can't call for help. How you feeling? A little dizzy? A little lightheaded? Carbon monoxide is odorless, tasteless, invisible. The wall heater has been rigged to emit the gas. And we're overcome by carbon monoxide. Tragic. Recreating classic murders and topping it all off with a wholly original locked room. Should be a bestseller. Goodbye, Jennifer. Thanks for the inspiration.
Jennifer? Jennifer! Jennifer!
Frank, can you call Jason? Dinner's gonna be late.
This dried nicely. I think I'm gonna give it to the DA.
Give it to him. It's a work of fiction.
Nah, that's what I like to call a confession. Oh, and by the way, nice of you to let us know you're at the Fox and Hound.
You never would have gotten close without that amateur Nancy Drew.
Jennifer? Oh, she's our secret weapon. You want to tell Mr. Duncan anything?
Tell him I finished Novel Murders. Needs some work. Ending's a little weak. Might be more realistic if the author spent the rest of his life in jail.
He seemed like a nice guy. We went to his book signing. He was very charming.
Usually are.
That sweet man who bought the bird. He was really killed just for practice?
Duncan wanted to see if he was capable of murder, so he copied a murder from an Agatha Christie book.
That's so sick.
And he built a room just to kill you?
Well, I don't think he knew his intended victim when he built it, but he did know I was getting closer to figuring out the murders.
He made a hologram.
Yes. It was like he was there the whole time.
Huh. Like Tupac at Coachella.
Okay, so did I get this right? You were worried about Dad and I camping while you were giving manuscript notes to a serial killer?
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, there's no way Duncan's getting out, right?
No, not a chance. We got him cold. That call was the mayor's office. They're putting Jen up for the Citizens Medal of Honor.
Mom! This is so exciting.